Today's Congregational Circle is titled, Faithfully Becoming Beloved Community. Who we are together is who we are. You use our concern with creating what this world needs and remaining open and willing to change is vitally important to the evolution of our little church. We want to continue to make space for each other and a variety of opinions. We want to embrace commitment when and how we can. We want to continue to work on good communication with one another and continue to grow as individuals, especially as the focus of the UU Church is changing from the 7 principles and more to our values, our covenant. Today, as a call to action, we're asking to hear from every one of you. We're fostering collaboration, listening abilities, and asking you to speak about your thoughts and feelings regarding how this church is serving you and your community. We are asking for your individual preferences, and we're asking you to brainstorm together at the very end, the last question, after we've heard from everyone first. So please remember to be respectful of others and differing opinions, and we want to hear from everyone, so please be mindful of the time when you are speaking. So the information that we talk about today will be discussed by various committees in the hopes of possibly making changes for the better and broadening our presence in this community. And Dolores has volunteered to write down your ideas as she hears them. The questions are displayed on the slide. Please answer all or some of the questions 1 through 4. You're under no obligation to speak if you choose not to, and if that is the case, just say pass when it is your turn. No one will be put on the spot. When we finished with the 4 questions, we'll open the discussion for brainstorming. So forget the second part for right now. Answer all of them, 1 of them, 2 of them, 3 of them, whatever comes to mind. Why did you join this particular church in Cambria? What is about Unitarian Universalism that speaks to you the most? What do you like most and or least about the services each week? And is there something in particular about the UU Church that feeds your soul? So take a moment, just see what speaks to you, what your thoughts might be. I know we didn't give you a lot of time to think about it, but sometimes the best answers come up just like that. So who would like to start us off today? Okay, don't all jump up at once. Okay.
I am new here. My name's Margo.
So can I ask you to do one thing? Can you hear her, Andy?
Lightly, if we speak up to that black microphone in the ceiling, it'll help.
Okay.
Okay.
So maybe we can just go there when we're speaking. That might help everybody involved.
Okay. Well, I'm new to the community. My husband and I just moved here in mid-March, and we're here to stay. And I was raised Catholic, so I like ritual. I like the ritual that you guys have here is appealing to me, and yet I believe in respecting all religious denominations, and then it's really more about, my husband is an atheist, and I've been deeply spiritual for a very long time. Though I was raised Catholic, I went into yoga and meditation at a young age, and so I've been influenced by a lot of Eastern philosophy. And I was looking for a place that respected all faiths, and also the idea that service is your prayer was very appealing to me. And at the same time, you guys bring a little bit of spirituality, enough to satisfy me, whereas we lived in the Bay Area for a while, and the Unitarian Church there, there was almost no spirituality, so it's just a nice balance. That's what I appreciate.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Very good. Who's next?
I'll go next.
Jan. Good. Yeah, please go right where she was standing because the microphone is right there.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So, why did I join? Well, actually, I'm one of the 4 that started this church, and the reason for it, we belong to the big church in San Luis, but we weren't able to really be a part of the community as much as we would have liked to, because it's a long haul. And so we kind of thought it'd be a great idea to have a UU church here in Cambria, and I think it's worked. What about Unitarian? I like Unitarian Universalism because it asks questions. I like that. I don't want to hear answers. I think the mystery of the universe and why we're here is going to be an ongoing conversation, discussion, mystery, and I appreciate approaching it that way instead of something you can solve like an equation. What do I like most? Least I love the services. I'm constantly thrilled at the talented people we have here. You know, I remember the days when we had a boombox, you know, and just like trying to sing along to a boombox. And something in particular, the community. I think the big main attraction to having this church is being in community. I remember reading that as humans, we came from small communities, you know, in the ancient past, and smaller groups that we can connect strongly with and really feel a part of. And that's what these smaller churches and things provide for all of us, is that denser community, that more personal kind of connection that we get from being together. So I think that's it.
Thank you, Janet. Very nice.
Okay, Randy, if you want to unmute and share.
Sure. Okay, real quickly. Okay, I joined the church, this particular church, because it's lay led. And what speaks to me most are the 7 principles. And then what I like most about the services are the music, the speakers, and the wahs. And what I like least is when the internet misbehaves. And then what feeds my soul is the fellowship. All of you.
Thank you, Randy.
Okay, who's next here? Yes, Wayne.
Walk slowly, Art.
Hi. I joined this group because I wanted to expand my group of friends in the community, and it's been wonderful. And I noticed that when we occasionally have a speaker who is trained as a minister, that those are not as good as when I hear from each of you or somebody who isn't trained.
That's interesting. Yeah, thank you. Very
Sorry.
interesting. Oh, that's okay. You didn't do anything. You did good.
Hey, Art.
Well, I think, can you hear me? No. The thing I like most about joining this particular church is that we're not a church. We are a community. And that to me means that we regulate ourselves and we're here because we want to be here, not because we're following a dictate of some remote religion far away. I think the thing that speaks to me most about Unitarian Universalism is its inclusiveness. I love the fact that we reach out to everybody. The thing I like least about Unitarianism at this stage is some of the boilerplate at the beginning of our sermons, where we go over the same thing every single time about the Chumash Indians and we're all nice to be here. That's great, but I'd like to get to the meat of the story. And the thing that really attracts me about this Unitarian church is the kindness I feel from everybody. Thank you.
Yes, Julia, go. And then Mark. Sorry.
So to answer the first question, it took me a long time to join the UU Church. I've been on the outskirts for probably 10 years and never really gave it much thought. And until I actually bought a home in Cambria, I was living in San Simeon for a little while. And I don't know, I just, I've always felt that all of you are just so nice and friendly and always smile when you see me. And I'm not used to such a large group of people knowing all of your names and being friends with so many people. That's never happened for me before. I've always been a rather secluded person. So having the office next door too helped. And a lot of times I'd be over there and hear, you know, you all in here, and I wouldn't come over. I just kept to myself. So it's been a kind of a slow evolution for me, and I really appreciate all your patience and love and seeing you so often. And I do love the potlucks the most. Oh, I love potlucks, and I miss them so much during the pandemic. So I know that's kind of silly, but I also would like to get more involved in the service part of UU, because that's, you know, service is our prayer, and I'd like to somehow get more involved with that. I said that last time too. Yeah, so.
I'm gonna jump in. Hopefully the system won't blow up while I'm down. So I joined this particular church. I came from far away in 2010, and from 2010 from the East Coast to Cambria, and I believe one of the first things I did was go on Google and type in Cambria, California, UU. And lo and behold, a congregation popped up, which I wasn't expecting, because I was attending one back east, and I just wondered. So there wouldn't have been any other religious organization I would have attended, but I was happy to see that there was a UU congregation here in Cambria. I went down to the Veterans Hall, and the rest is history, and there was no question about it. So it was either this one or none at all. Unitarian Universalism, for me, has opened up a lot of doors to mystery, not always answers, but a lot of openings. And I love exploring those, and the UU community and the approach is the way that works really well for me. So I'm in a constant process of exploration through Unitarian Universalism. What I like most about these services there are those moments. There are just moments. They can be the music sometimes, they can be somebody's joy and concern, they can be a moment in their sermon, or it can be anywhere. But there are just those amazing moments when I'm so touched, and I don't forget them. Just for example, when Rebecca and Ted sang that hymn at the microphone a few weeks ago, just beautiful. And Helena last week, there were several moments. They happen pretty frequently, so that's the good news. That keeps us coming back. I think I answered the fourth one somewhere in the first three, so thank you.
Why did you join the church? So I was volunteering on the Fiscalini Ranch before we even owned a house here when we were renting, and I met people who were also volunteers, and they just felt like I found a tribe, people who were all going to the Vets Hall for this expanding UU, and just called me to join that, even though I grew up very turned off towards organized religion and religion in general, but always believed in the mystery and always was curious. So a place where I could come, where we explored that mystery and there were no authoritative answers. I kind of had a problem with authoritative dictates, and so I felt this is a place I want to be. And in the last part, what feeds my soul is because we have a life where we're kind of disjointed, going back and forth, the idea that we can come here and be accepted, even though it could be kind of lonely and it's hard to integrate back in. I feel this is the place where we can integrate in no matter where life takes us. And for all of us, whatever our journey is, whatever emotionally is on our minds, we feel safe here to share. And that's getting to know people on a deep level, what's really going on with their lives. And I appreciate that. I cherish that.
Thank you, Marsha.
Excuse me. So I'm Nancy, in case anybody doesn't know, Nancy Tolan. I don't really like speaking like this, so I don't know why I'm doing this, but I feel I should. So I joined this particular church in Cambria because I had been in the UU church in Fresno for 20 years, and most of my good friends were people I knew from church. And I basically liked everybody. So I thought this was kind of the shortcut to getting friends when we moved here. What speaks to me the most? It's like ditto what Andy said. I like the principles, so that's what Randy said. It's weird, I kind of like, I like that people try to work out their differences. I like to hear people who have different ideas than me, and even though I immediately go, oh, no, I then go, well, maybe, I should think about that more. So I like that. Sometimes the music really speaks to me, and it's like there's just something each week that I didn't expect that I like. What I like most and least? It varies. I like the music a lot. I think you guys are very talented. I like when other people sing, because I can't. Well, I can sing, it's just not on tune. I guess there's a difference. And what do I like least? I can kind of don't like the things that get repeated every week, although I also understand, having grown up with the Catholic Church, that there's that kind of, a lot of the comfort in the ritual. So I understand that. It doesn't do anything for me particularly. But, it's fine. Is there, what I like least? Well, that was what I like least, I guess. I think a lot of the groups, the things that, I like things that aren't going to church on Sunday. So I like the women's group a lot. I think we get into a lot of really interesting discussions there. The hiking group, just, getting together outside of church. So, I even liked highway cleanup. I mean, who knew?
I joined this church because I was looking for someone to marry my son 11 years ago. No, not a partner, an officiant. And I walked into the service at the Vets Hall and Reverend Rod was talking. And I was like, holy crap, this is the guy, and he was just amazing, and we love him, and he did agree to officiate at the service. And then I discovered that there was a little more to it than that, and really felt I've always been a Unitarian and just didn't know it. I was one of those Catholic kids who would sit in the Mass and go, yeah, no, that's not right. Yeah, no, that doesn't work. No. So finally, after a bajillion years, here I am in my old age, being a Unitarian, and I'm loving it, absolutely loving it, and loving all of you. And the services, as far as this, I'm on the service committee too, as well as being a musician, and I understand the people, you know, saying, oh, you this and that and this, but we do go to lengths at trying to change things. Like, you probably haven't noticed, but we took away the whole big explanation for the principles. Now we just say, this is principle 3, like it or leave it, you know? So we try to do that, and we kind of feel mandated to say about the Selenan and the Chumash, you know, that's kind of who we are. That's part of us, and the affirmation. And other than that, we really try as a worship committee to change it up a little, so it doesn't become like, Omne Padme, Omne, you know. We don't want that, okay? And you all feed my soul. You all do. It's just, I'm always amazed. You know, like sometimes I feel like I'm an outsider kind of sitting over there in the corner, and then the next moment I feel like I'm just part of it. So thank you. So,
why did I join this church? I didn't really join, I felt drafted. I came in here to do music. I've told the story probably more times than you know, most of you know. I came in here to do music. I think I went out of my way for many years to do everything but join. Just, I didn't want to join, and I joined and unjoined and then rejoined a few times. But what is unique about Unitarian is that universalism is that it's evolving constantly, and striving to be inclusive, recognizes the faults that it's made now. Maybe that hasn't always been the case, but it's recognizing some serious mistakes it's made in the past, and it's trying to make amends and restitution for those mistakes. I really think that's what I like the most. What I most like about the services, I like most of the services. What I like least is when I don't like a service. I don't like it, and I'm sitting there kind of antsy. But what I like about it is that I know that maybe I didn't like it, but somebody else got something out of it, and so I really like that. And is there something in what I wanted to mention was something maybe that somebody else hasn't mentioned before, and I think that what we have here in this special community, I mean, I consider myself to be a loner, and but what you all, by your example, you all teach me to be better, a better human, to learn, and I think that that's why we're here. I mean, we're not just here. If we were just alone, we might as well just die and say, I'm done. You know, I'm you know, I don't. So we need each other, and I see great examples of humanity and how to be with others from each and every one of you all the time, and communication. So that's definitely feeds my soul. Thank you.
So I joined this church because Dolores made me. I belong to one in Thousand Oaks. I never joined. I was a friend for 7 years, so I relate to Julia. When I came up here, I got more involved, and the more I got involved, the more I was kind of pulled in. And I go through times where, you know, I feel a little more on the outskirts, and then I come back in again and recognize the incredible people that are part of this church that I relate to so much in terms of kindness and giving, kindness and giving together, and compassion. What's about the Unitarian Universalism that speaks to you the most was that. What do you like most about the services? I am one of those people who loves ritual. I love the lighting of the candles. I love the tones of, you know, hitting the bell. I love hearing it over and over and over again, the things that are repeated. And what I recognize about myself is that I can hear it 170 times, but the 171st time, something new comes inside of me as I hear it once again. So for me, hearing things once doesn't seem to do it. Once, twice, 3 times, but when I hear it again and again, it starts seeping into my being. And I love what we say about, our covenant, and we speak it every week, and I think it's beautiful. Love is the spirit of this church. And that's what I love most about it. And I also did this right before I came, which wasn't such a great thing because I apologize to the people who are on Zoom. They don't have this. And what it is it's just a recognition of everything we do in this small little church with, I'm sorry, Janet, I forgot the hiking group on here.
No, it's on there.
Oh, it's on there?
No, it isn't.
Okay, I think that's one I missed. And Nancy pointed out too that, social justice is its own committee. But this is a work in progress.
Social and environmental justice.
Social and environmental justice.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. So this is a work in progress. I hope to continue to expand it, but I wanted you to all see so many possibilities of getting involved. Oh, good. So now the people in Zoomland can see it as well. All right. Is there anybody else who would like to come up before we move to the next section? Okay, that was beautiful sharing. Thank you all. So the brainstorming we'd like to do is basically we would like to be known more in the community. We would like people to know we're here and all of the things that we have to offer. As you know, we do not proselytize. We simply share who we are when people ask. So that information doesn't particularly get out very often. So we want to know from you, how can we as UUs let people know that we are here? How can we attract more people to come and participate? How can we bring more attention to our church? What can we do to let others know about our beloved community? How do we get the word out more that our church exists? How do we let others know what we have to offer? Anyone or any part of that? We would love ideas. We'd like to just start brainstorming ideas. Kat? Sure.
Okay, well, I'm a lover of marketing, so I think that everybody who's a member or a friend, and we can poo-poo this, but I'm just gonna put it out there, in the next 6 months has to bring one person to this church that lives in Cambria.
Oh, right.
You got 6 months to fulfill your duty. That's my idea.
Great idea. Wonderful idea. All right, who else has got an idea? Yes, Julia.
What about like people on Cambria Drive and Main Street? They'll put one of those signs like the businesses do, like maybe just on Saturday it could be somebody's job to put like a sign just on the corner because all the Cambrians drive to the Cookie Crock and drive past, and we're kind of tucked away back here with the sign, which is really nice and big, but not many people come on Arlington, so there's not a lot of exposure, in town.
So Julia has suggested we put a sign out on Saturday and for Sunday as well, telling everybody we're up and running and where we are and when we meet. Yeah. Great. Other ideas? Yes, Arthur.
How about an entry in the Panorado Parade?
An entry in the Panorado Parade. We've been talking about that for a long time. Okay, you're in charge, Art. We're just brainstorming right now. Okay, great idea. Other ideas? Yes, Amanda.
Some of the speakers that come in that aren't speakers from the UUCC have brought people with them to see their talk, and we could, without being overbearing, maybe do that more frequently and make sure that we have those people as part of it. That's how it's her fault that I'm here, because I started by coming as a speaker and then, got hooked by all of the things that are part of this community.
So asking speakers to bring friends from the community.
Asking speakers from the community, I think.
And asking more speakers from the community to come and speak. Excellent idea. Wonderful.
And I like that ritual where you repeat the same thing, because it does remind me of why people come. And it makes me feel comfortable to bring people, because you say right at the start, we're lay-led. This is the things we do. I think that helps hook people.
Yes. Excellent idea. Thank you. Ted?
Well, I'm just thinking about more, marketing on local boards or, like, I don't know if next door does this kind of sort of thing, but, something to just put our name out in that area. I was just going to say, with that suggestion, one of the things that I suggest is that people who, say, you church, blah, blah, blah. I go, well, look, I said, you can just dial it up on Sunday and, and watch a service in your, in your pajamas if you want to, see if it, see if it's something of interest to you. You don't, that's kind of an easy way of saying, well, if you don't want to actually first time around come on over and join us, why not get a flavor of, what we do over Zoom, and then maybe, come on by.
All right. So more signs and inviting people to join us on Zoom in their pajamas.
Yeah, I'm going to put a lot of money in all this.
As long as they're wearing something. Great. Good. And-
I see
yes,
Treva
Sue.
has her hand raised. When you get a chance, Diane.
Okay, we'll be there in just a second.
I was just remembering the times we have guest musicians, when we have
Guest musicians.
And that's how we started, because we came because we got to know Steve and Marcia and Mary, and they invited Steve to play, and we came to watch. So I think the music is wonderful, but I think those guest musicians, when they come in, are a way to bring people.
Okay, more guest musicians coming in. Margot.
First of all, I'm not a member yet, but,
We heard that. Okay.
I used to, market for my own business, and I made these pretty postcards that were very visually very pleasing, and on the back I had a very inspirational passage. So that I've forgotten what the what do you call it? The statement of your church.
Oh, the affirmation.
Love is the spirit of its church, and service is its prayer.
And that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And I mean, just something real simple, a couple of lines, where you're located, all are welcome. And put them, there's bulletin boards all over the place. But one of the things I did when I was...
Postcards and put them on bulletin boards.
But put something on that, like, one of the things that I did, I had the golden rule in 7 or 8 different languages is what I did. So I had a beautiful image on the front, and then on the back I had that golden rule, so people kept it. So they stick it in
That
their
people
book.
wanted to keep it because it was so beautiful, either the writing or the message or the picture. Wonderful. And actually we have that, Sue, we have that in process right while we speak.
I would like to invite Margot to come to the next operation.
Okay.
You're going to be at the next operations meeting, Margot.
I'll remember. Thank you.
Okay. And Wayne?
I think we should tell the stories about what we do and accomplish, like highway cleanup, St. Simeon Food Bank, Thanksgiving baskets, Fourth Sunday contributions.
Scholarship.
Those are all ways of demonstrating.
So sharing more about the stories of what we do here in order to help people and giving of ourselves. Great. One more, yes.
Okay, yeah, one more. Just, I don't know what, like I told you guys, we haven't lived here long. But if there's any sort of, I know that we weren't here for the 4th of July, but if there's any event where you can throw up a tent and then maybe people make things or donate things to sell for a charity to bring to us, to give them information.
Uh-huh.
And to meet you.
To hand out information, like maybe at the farmer's market or something like that.
I've never been to the farmer's
Okay,
market, but
okay.
yeah, a tent where, and we could offer things.
A tent.
I don't know if there's creative people here, and then make it more appealing by maybe having a charity that we give the profit to show that it's more about getting the word out and getting to know us or you, as opposed to making money for this church. You know, we're gonna do this, you know, raise a little bit of money for the homeless. I don't know,
Okay.
in SLO County, whatever.
All right, that's a great idea. Okay, we do want to hear from people from Zoom, so real quick, Ted.
Just, you know, to segue on that, you know, how are we making a difference? You know, I thought about this.
How are we making a difference?
What are we actually?
Putting that out to the community.
The story that the one young lady told us about, the scholarship that set her off into, you know, educational excellence. I mean, that's a really amazing.
For example, of how the scholarship allowed her to move into academic excellence. Yeah, great. And on Zoom, Andy?
Okay, well, Treva put her hand down, but I'd love to see if our audio's working. Treva, can you try again? Just say hi.
Yeah, I just very quickly, depending upon the demographic that you guys are wanting to attract, all of your activities are during the day when people work. Yeah. So that's all I want to let you guys know, that like the women's group meets during the day. And
All right, my apologies for going over
Okay.
today, but it was so
Thanks.
important we get to hear from everybody today. Thank you so much for contributing what you have. Now we're going to continue with our offering.